Well, folks across the U.S. traveled at record rates for the Labor Day weekend. Travel numbers surpassed both 2022 and 2019 levels. The TSA anticipated a big influx of airport travel, with 14 million Americans expected to fly for the holiday. That's an 11% increase from the year prior. I'm joined now by Brian Kelly, the Points Guy founder. Good to have you on, Brian. So, in terms of plane, trains and automobiles, all the different ways that people traveled over this Labor Day holiday weekend, where did we see the strongest dominance here?
Well, air traffic is up, especially in international travel. And I do have to give kudos to the airlines. It was pretty smooth sailing, even with the storm, which can easily cause chain reactions like we saw in the middle of the summer. So the way I look at summer 2023 was we had a pretty good Memorial Day. July, we had some dark moments in those mass cancellations. United had their meltdown, but we ended pretty strong. So I think all the airline executives can take a little bit of a lap here as they gear up for what's going to be I think an unprecedented holiday travel season as well.
So how surprising was it then, especially, we were, expecting a lot of disruption there, especially from the hurricane season. Did it just not pan out as expected, or did people sort of make other plans and work their way around it?
No, we got lucky, I think, especially with the storm and how it impacted travel. It wasn't as bad as we expected. And, storm season really heats up September as well. So we're not out of the woods quite yet. But in comparison to the busy travel season, I think things are pretty good. There are still key concerns. Air traffic controllers, there is a shortage. That's what helped spur the July meltdown of United's meltdown. There's going to be a pilot shortage. That's going to continue to be an issue. So I wouldn't say we're back to pre-pandemic normal, where we're back. We did handle this big increase in passengers this weekend pretty well. If you remember, summer 2022 was all about the meltdowns across Europe with 10,000 bags stuck at Heathrow. I traveled throughout Europe this summer and things were pretty smooth sailing. So I will say, I think the travel industry we're not back to normal, but I do think we're in a good place as we, shift into the busy holiday season in a couple months.
So, Brian, as you mentioned, things like the pilot shortage, the shortfall that we had, especially, a lot weren't able to train during COVID. There were a lot of other extenuating circumstances that are still working their way through. What are the expectations then for how these airlines are going to manage the summer travel season?
Well, I think we're seeing the airlines are giving huge concessions to the pilots. They're getting big pay raises, and they're even talking about raising the retirement age, which I think is, a short-term solution to this. But all the airlines, United Airlines actually started their own pilot academy to start training the next generation of pilots. We'll see if that's really a success or not. There's some mixed feelings on that so far. But overall, the industry, our government, everyone's pointing fingers at each other, but the government needs to do a better job at recruiting new air traffic controllers. And we need to embrace technology. Frankly, facial recognition technology that can help people get through airports quicker. I think AI can help the airlines. It's ridiculous nowadays. You still have to wait hours on the phone to talk to an agent when there's AI technology that can give self-service to passengers. So it's going to be more than just hiring new pilots or air traffic controllers. I think the industry has to embrace technology.
And you raise a good point, because yes, we are still sitting on hold trying to resolve things when, there's missed flights or delays. And then on top of that, if you're like, maybe I'll drive. I shed a tear when I was filling up my tank this weekend. Still very expensive to fill your tank at the moment. When are we going to start seeing a bit of relief for the consumer at this point?
Well, the markets are a little shaky today due to rising oil prices. So, I have no idea what oil is going to do. I don't foresee gas prices coming down more. The silver lining with airfare is, domestic airfare has come down quite a bit, but international, my breath was taken away from me this summer when I was booking Europe trips. Luckily, I used my frequent flyer miles. And I recommend others to do the same, because especially in business class, tickets were 7,000 round trip on many dates this summer. That is much higher than pre-pandemic, even when all the business travelers were traveling. So the luxury consumer is now used to flying business class. The airlines know that. And we're seeing this fall, winter, all the major airlines are putting their premium aircraft to the Caribbean and Mexico. We've seen an unprecedented buildup. United Airlines is focusing on South Pacific with new flights to New Zealand. So it's an interesting game, but consumers still have that huge urge to spend, especially in the premium cabin.
So So, Brian, then I have to ask you then your top 3 tips or your top recommendations for what people could do if they haven't already, saved up for their summer travel season or even their winter travel plans. What could they do right now to save the most money and really take advantage of the deals?
Yeah, so my tip is book summer 2024 travel now using your frequent flyer miles. I will tell you the US frequent flyer programs, they have had inflation in terms of the number of miles needed. Here's my tip. Use foreign frequent flyer programs like Air France's Flying Blue. They currently have transfer bonuses from Amex where you can really get maximum value. Virgin Atlantic, Air Canada Aeroplan. So foreign frequent flyer programs are often the best way to get most bang for your points. And there are a lot of big credit card sign-up bonuses right now. So at thepointsguy.com, we've got a listing of all the top deals. Just be a little bit savvy. There are tools out there like expertflyer.com or Roam, ROAME.travel. They're tools that will actually scan the airline's inventory for award seats, and they'll even alert you when seats open up. So plan in advance and book your summer 2024 travel now. You can always change it if you need to.
I'm feeling kind of bad that I did not plan any of my winter travel and you're saying summer 2024. So I guess I have to hurry up and get on that. A pleasure having you on the show again. Brian Kelly, the Points Guy founder. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.